Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk today if you're somebody who's struggling with just feeling blocked, like there's a lot of issues and you can't seem to get to the core of them. The way to do it, in my opinion, is this. It is going through the body. The body is the thing that holds and stores all the information, all the trauma, all the pain, all the resentments, all the disappointments. And what helps with going to the body first is that you don't have to list it out. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to use your mind, but your body will know where it needs to go. So a couple of things to do if you want to start with the body. It's so simple, guys. It's almost laughable. I've been in the coaching world and the healing world for about 10 years, and I've worked with probably over 600 people at this point, one-on-one. And what I see over and over again is that people are not in their bodies enough, and actually moving it through your body brings more results than talking about it. So dancing, putting on music, going to ecstatic dance, going to any type of free flow where your body is allowed to lead. So I'm not talking about ballet or hip hop where you have to follow a certain regimen, but actually a place in which you let your body lead, you take away your mind, and you just let your body move with the music in a way that your body is showing you what's happening. And be curious because your body has so much to tell you. So going into that dance and just letting your body lead the way will tell you so much more than you need to know, more than what you've known until now. And also will show you the areas that it's stored in. You might notice that you keep going down in your hips, and that's because your pelvic floor is holding a lot. Or you might be going down on the ground and hitting the ground. It's because your chest and your back and maybe your neck is feeling so weighted down. You let your body tell you its story, and you'll be able to find access points into where you need to be connecting into yourself. Number two, and this is connected to dancing, but it's rhythm. Rhythm, shaking, quaking, anything that's going to get you from being still to moving like that. So that can be TRE, which is a type of exercise that gets your body to naturally start shaking again. It also is great to release trauma, move trauma out. Two is literally just shaking your body out, moving your body out. Three is hiking or walking, getting your body in a rhythm state of moving like that also helps the body shake out stories, shake out trauma, shake out energy, and that also helps us bring connection to ourselves. Yeah, I mean, the last thing for shaking is also having to do with our voice. So, which brings us to the third thing, which is using your voice and song. And I made a video earlier about the heart song, but really like using your voice box and letting it shake out, because your voice is its own rhythm, and it also can match different areas in your body that's holding trauma, that's holding stored energy and blocking you and disconnecting you from yourself. So you can go in the way of just and just shaking it out, and you'll already start feeling your body start opening up. Another way to do it is through song, finding music that aligns with you, finding music that you feel matches the energy that you're feeling inside of your body, and just singing it out. It doesn't matter if it feels good or not, just singing through it, finding different parts of your body. If you have sadness in your heart, singing to the sadness of your heart, and then switching and singing from the sadness of your heart. It has different elements to it when you play around with it. If you feel in your stomach, that's where you hold a lot of your anxiety, sing like that inner parent to the anxiety. Song about reassurance, a song about safety. You'll be surprised what starts flowing up. And then sing from the anxiety, sing a song of your fear, sing a song of your anxiousness. When you play around with that, you start unknotting it and it opens it up. So through the body, movement, dance, rhythm, voice. And the next thing is telling your story over. So storytelling is part of ancient rituals of where we go around the fire and people just share the stories. They share their myths, they share their folklore, they share the rituals and the stories behind them. And that has a really cathartic element to it because it connects us to one another. It brings an archetypal energy of something that we're all going through together. And also there's the catharsis of being seen and showing who you are. Something that I've done in training is literally like everybody has a half hour where they just tell their life story over. And every time you tell your life story over, it will be a different story depending on where you are in the moment. Because when you look back at your life, you're going to see it through the prism and how you feel today. So when you tell that story over, it helps just move. Let's say you're really anxious today and you say your life story over, you'll see like, wow, you've gone through a lot. It makes sense that you're anxious. If you're feeling grateful and you tell your life story over, you're going to see how blessed you've been throughout this life. If you're feeling heartache, you're going to see how much you've persevered through and how many times your heart's been broken. So using storytelling as a way to move through it is also really helpful. The only thing I recommend with that is not to stay in the story. So give yourself a time to start and a time to finish, even if you don't make it through all the way, letting yourself be exposed, be seen in that way. It helps make it make sense to you. It helps organize it. It helps make your life feel a little bit more coherent. So those 4 ways of song, dance, rhythm, and sharing your story leads us to the last thing, being in community to do all of that. So in order to really feel seen, really also help move the energy out, a lot of times it's bringing in other people, dancing with other people, singing with other people, sharing your story with other people, shaking and moving yourself rhythmically with other people. That's what we're here for. Because the block happens when we're alienated from ourselves or isolated from ourselves. And usually that's because our internal or our first traumas are connected through disconnection from our caregivers or disconnection from the world. So our traumas begin in connection, and usually our healing also must happen through connection. So connecting to yourself and connecting to the world around you is super important to help you feel unblocked, because you're probably feeling unblocked because it doesn't feel safe enough to touch what's being there, touch what's being buried there. So creating a safe container with yourself or creating a safe community will help you begin touching those parts that are hard, touching those parts that feel really heavy, and moving through that. I hope that was helpful and giving everybody a blessing to start moving and touching upon those blocks.